Alright, let's cut the BS. What's the real reason you slammed your laptop shut after that last losing streak? What's the feeling you actually have when you see red, but you tell your buddies, it's just risk management? Is it just frustration? Or is it that gut-wrenching, quiet feeling you push down? Shame? There's an invisible force silently destroying more trading accounts than bad technical analysis or news headlines, especially for guys like us. And today we're dragging it into the light. This is about the silent account killer nobody wants to admit exists. Welcome to the hidden battleground of trading psychology. We're drawn to trading for the challenge, the potential freedom, the image of success it promises. We see the curated highlights online, the massive green candles lighting up a screen, the confident gurus posing by fancy cars. We're conditioned, especially as men in our society, to project strength, competence, control, be analytical, be stoic, don't show weakness. But what happens in the deafening silence after a loss? Not just a small paper cut, but a real hit. Maybe a trade you knew deep down you shouldn't have taken, or one where you blatantly broke your own carefully crafted rules. That feeling, it often transcends simple anger or disappointment. It morphs into this heavy, suffocating cloak of embarrassment. A quiet, insidious voice whispering in the back of your mind, "You messed up. You're not smart enough for this. What if people find out you're not the winner you pretend to be?" Think about it honestly for a second. Does losing a trade sometimes feel less like a calculated business expense, a probability playing out, and more like a personal indictment? Like it reflects poorly on your intelligence, your discipline, your very capability as a man trying to succeed. That precise feeling, that knot in your stomach you try to ignore, that is trading shame, and it thrives in the shadows, feeding the immense pressure many of us feel to always appear successful, always be in control. So why does this toxic brew of shame seem to hit guys, particularly in the 25-44 age range, so hard? Part of it is undeniably societal wiring. Whether we like it or not, there's often an unspoken expectation, sometimes self-imposed, to be the provider, the rock, the problem solver, the winner. Admitting failure, even something as normal in this field as a string of trading losses, can feel like showing a crack in that essential armor. It taps into deep-seated, often subconscious fears of inadequacy or not measuring up. Then let's talk about the ego. Trading attracts confident, ambitious, often highly competitive individuals. Our ego is the part of us that wants to be right, that seeks validation through success. It hates being wrong. Closing a trade for a loss is a direct, undeniable confrontation with being wrong. The market just told you unequivocally your analysis or timing was incorrect. The ego doesn't like this one bit. It often reacts defensively, triggering that feeling of shame as a twisted way to try and prevent you from failing, being wrong again. It's a faulty defense mechanism. And in today's world, we absolutely cannot ignore the comparison culture massively amplified by social media. You scroll through Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. You see someone flexing a huge win, conveniently omitting the 10 losses that came before it. You see perfect chart setups posted after the move has happened. This relentless stream of curated success stories creates a completely unrealistic benchmark. When your messy real-world trading reality, with its inevitable drawdowns and mistakes, doesn't match that polished online perfection, shame finds incredibly fertile ground. You start thinking, why can't I achieve that effortlessly? What fundamental flaw do I have? This fosters a sense of isolation, making you assume you're the only one struggling behind the glossy facade. Now, here's the critical part. This hidden shame isn't just an uncomfortable feeling you need to tough out. It's actively toxic. It becomes the silent account killer precisely because it directly triggers predictable, destructive trading behaviors. It hijacks your rational mind. Let's break down how. Number 1, fueling destructive revenge trading. Shame carries an intense negative energy, and it demands to be neutralized now. The quickest, most primal way your emotional brain thinks it can erase that failure feeling is by immediately winning back the loss. Imagine this. You just took a frustrating $500 loss on an oil trade you hesitated on. The shame burns. Suddenly you glance at the NASDAQ chart. There's some kind of pattern maybe. Your carefully defined trading plan screams, wait for confirmation, but the shame inside screams louder. Act now! Erase this awful feeling. Prove you're not a failure. Without thinking, you jump in, probably with double the position size. No clear stop-loss logic, purely driven by the desperate emotional need to undo the previous mistake. What's the overwhelmingly likely result? A second, often much larger loss. And guess what? Even more shame, digging the hole deeper. Number 2, paralyzing you into holding losers indefinitely. This is perhaps the most insidious killer. Closing a losing trade makes the loss and the associated shame real. It's finalized. It's documented in your account history. It's an undeniable admission of being wrong. So what does the shame-avoidant brain desperately try to do? It rationalizes holding on. You start telling yourself stories. Oh, it's just a pullback. It might turn around. The underlying fundamentals are still solid. Eventually, I'll just widen my stop a little bit more. Give it room to breathe. You're no longer making a calculated, risk-managed trading decision. You're actively avoiding the emotional pain of admitting defeat and facing that wave of shame. This is precisely how seemingly small, manageable losses are allowed to balloon into catastrophic, account-crippling disasters. All because the immediate pain of realizing the loss felt worse than the escalating financial risk. Number 3. Forcing you into damaging hiding and isolation. When you feel ashamed, the natural instinct is to hide the source of that shame. You don't talk about the losses, especially the stupid ones. You might deflect questions from your partner or friends about how your trading is really going, maybe painting a rosier picture than reality. This isolation is devastating for learning and growth. You block yourself off from objective feedback. You can't share your mistakes with a mentor or a trusted peer to get valuable insights. You're trapped inside your own head, likely repeating the same errors with the shame building and festering in an echo chamber. The mental toll of maintaining the secrecy, this double life, is immense and drains precious mental capital needed for good trading. Number 4, driving compulsive system. Hopping and desperation. A string of losses triggers shame, and that shame quickly erodes confidence. Not just in yourself, but often in a potentially perfectly valid trading strategy. Shame whispers destructive thoughts like, see? This system doesn't work because you're fundamentally flawed. So what do? You abandon the system prematurely and desperately jump onto the next shiny object, the next holy grail indicator or strategy you saw online. But guess what? Every strategy has losses. When the inevitable losses occur with the new system, the shame returns, the cycle repeats, and you find yourself perpetually searching, never achieving consistency, never truly mastering anything. Do you see the devastating pattern here? Lose, feel intense shame, engage in shame-driven behavior, revenge trade, hold losers, hide, system hop, lose more, feel even deeper, more entrenched shame. It's a vicious downward spiral, silently bleeding accounts dry, not because of market conditions, but because of this unaddressed psychological enemy within. Okay, enough doom and gloom. Facing this reality is the first step. The empowering news is you absolutely can break this destructive cycle. It requires conscious awareness, deliberate effort, and equipping yourself with the right mental tools. Think of these as behavioral hacks, specific actionable techniques designed to rewire your brain's default response to loss and systematically disarm the crippling power of trading shame. Hack number 1, aggressively normalize losing, the foundational reframe. This sounds deceptively simple, but internalizing it is profoundly powerful. You must drill into your core belief system that losses are not reflections of your personal worth, your intelligence, or your potential as a trader. They are mandatory, unavoidable operating costs in the statistical business of trading. Full stop. How to practice this? Start rigorously tracking not just your profit and loss, but your process adherence. Did you follow your predefined plan for entry, exit, and risk? That becomes the metric for a successful trade, even if it resulted in a monetary loss. Leverage mental models. Think of a professional poker player. They know they'll lose many hands, but they focus on making pluev decisions over the long run. Think of a major league baseball hitter. A 300 batting average makes you an all-star, yet that means failing to get a hit 70% of the time. Trading is inherently probabilistic. Losses will happen, even to the best. Use affirmations and journaling. Don't just think it, reinforce it. Write it down daily. Losses are feedback, not failures. I accept losses calmly as part of my statistical edge. My discipline defines my success, not single trade outcomes. Verbalize these statements. The more you consciously expose your brain to this reframing, the less potent the sting of shame will become over time. Hack number 2. Practice controlled vulnerability. Find your sanity check confidant, strategic sharing. Isolation is shame's breeding ground. You need a healthy outlet, but you must choose this outlet strategically. Who is the ideal confidant? Look for a seasoned mentor who has weathered many market storms, or a fellow trader who you know is objective, grounded, and non-judgmental. Critically, not the type who suddenly brags or competes. A qualified trading coach is also an excellent option. You need someone who understands the unique pressures of the game but can offer detached perspective without emotional entanglement. Who to generally avoid sharing detailed struggles with? Often spouses or partners, unless they have a deep, unemotional understanding of trading probabilities and risk. Otherwise, your losses might understandably trigger their fear. Avoid friends who know nothing about markets. Their advice, though well-intentioned, will likely be generic platitudes or fear-based reactions like maybe you should just quit. And be wary of that hyper-competitive trading buddy. Consciously or subconsciously, they might not be the best source of objective support. What exactly should you share? It's usually less helpful to just say, man, I lost $1,000 today. Focus on sharing the context and the process breakdown. I took this trade based on setup X, expecting Y, but the market did Z instead. I feel really frustrated and embarrassed because I broke my rule about chasing entries. Focus on the decision-making process and the resulting feeling, seeking perspective on the behavior, not just sympathy for the loss. Often, the simple act of verbalizing the mistake and the feeling to a safe, non-judgmental ear dramatically reduces its emotional charge. Hack number 3. Engineer a loss processing ritual, structured analysis. Don't let the toxic residue of shame fester and cloud your judgment for the next trade. Replace chaotic emotional reactions with a structured, almost mechanical, analytical routine. Create a non-negotiable ritual for immediately after closing any significant or emotionally charged losing trade. Step 1. Immediate disengagement. Close the trading platform. Stand up. Physically walk away from your trading desk for a minimum of 15-30 minutes. Absolutely no checking charts or P&L on your phone during this cooling off period. Step 2. Physical and mental reset. Drink a full glass of water. Do something briefly physical. 20 push-ups, walk quickly around the block, splash cold water on your face. Get oxygen flowing, interrupt the negative thought loop, and create a state change. Step 3. Objective review. Using your journal, not staring at charts. Only when you feel calm and detached, open your trading journal, digital or physical. Answer a specific predefined set of questions for every significant loss, focusing on facts and process. What was the exact setup criteria? Did this trade meet all my plan's entry rules? Be brutally honest, yes, no. Did I follow my entry execution protocol precisely? Yes, no. Did I adhere to my initial stop-loss placement and logic? Yes, no. If not, exactly why did I deviate? Identify the emotion or flawed reasoning. Was my position size calculated according to my risk management rules? Yes, no. What was the broader market context doing? Was there unexpected news? A shift in volatility? Did I ignore higher time frame signals? What is the single most important lesson learned or reinforced by this specific trade? Write it down concisely. Step 4. Consciously close the book. Once you have documented the trade objectively and extracted the tuition fee, the lesson, make a conscious decision to mentally close the chapter on that trade. It's done. It's processed. It's in the past. You've learned what you could. Now move forward cleanly. Hack number 4. Radically shift your scoreboard. Obsess over process execution, not daily P&L. Control the controllables. Shame thrives when your self-worth is lashed to the unpredictable outcome of each trade. Hack this dangerous dependency by making flawless execution of your validated process your primary goal and source of satisfaction. Implement process metrics. Create a simple execution checklist for every trade based on your specific rules. Did I wait for the signal? Did I calculate size correctly? Did I set the stop correctly? Did I manage the trade according to plan? Give yourself a process quality score, 5/5 or 9/10 for each trade. Your goal becomes maximizing this score over time, regardless of the P&L outcome of any individual trade. Actively celebrate discipline. This feels counterintuitive at first, but make a point to actually acknowledge and mentally reward yourself when you took a loss correctly, meaning you followed your plan perfectly, identified the invalidation point, and executed the exit with discipline. This reinforces the behavior you want to repeat. Conversely, be genuinely critical of winning trades where you got lucky by breaking your rules. That reinforces bad habits. Refocus your weekly review. Dedicate the majority of your weekly trading review not to staring at the final P&L number, but to analyzing your process quality scores. Where did your process consistently break down? Was it impulsive entries, moving stops too soon, failing to take valid signals? That's where the real actionable insights for improvement lie, not in the noise of random market fluctuations. Hack number 5, integrate mindfulness and physical discharge techniques. Recognize that shame is a powerful emotion and emotions have physiological components. You can manage these directly. Practice mindfulness. Incorporate short mindfulness or meditation exercises into your daily routine, even just 2 to 5 minutes using apps like Headspace, Calm, or Waking Up. The goal isn't to eliminate feelings, but to become aware of emotions like shame or anger as they arise, without immediate judgment or reaction. This creates a crucial mental space between the feeling and the potential destructive action. You learn to observe the urge to revenge trade without necessarily acting on it. Utilize physical activity for emotional release. When you feel that intense frustration, anger, or shame building up after a tough loss, don't let it fester internally. Channel that raw energy physically in a healthy way. Hit the gym hard, go for an intense run, punch a heavy bag, do some vigorous yard work. Physically discharging that stress response can prevent it from clouding your mind and bleeding into your subsequent trading decisions. Look, let's be absolutely clear. Getting rid of trading shame isn't about morphing into some emotionless trading robot. That's neither possible nor desirable. It's about recognizing this potent, often hidden psychological enemy, understanding its specific triggers, especially within the context of male psychology and societal pressures, and then systematically equipping yourself with practical, actionable behavioral hacks to neutralize its destructive influence over your decision making. Facing this uncomfortable truth head on isn't a sign of weakness. It is a profound sign of strategic strength, self-awareness, and a genuine commitment to achieving long-term success and resilience in this incredibly challenging profession. Stop allowing silent shame to dictate your actions, sabotage your discipline, and silently bleed your trading account dry. Start implementing these hacks today, consistently. Normalize loss as a cost of business. Find your trusted sanity check confidant. Ritualize your loss processing. Radically shift your focus to impeccable process execution. Acknowledge the emotion when it arises, then manage it constructively through mindfulness and physical release. Bringing this silent account killer out of the shadows and into the light is the essential first step towards reclaiming control, making consistently smarter decisions under pressure, and ultimately forging the disciplined and resilient trading mindset required to not just survive, but thrive in the markets. What's your biggest personal struggle when it comes to handling trading losses? Have you ever felt this specific trading shame we've dissected today? Don't stay silent. Drop your experiences, insights, or even just acknowledgements anonymously if you prefer, in the comment section below. Let's break the damaging taboo around this topic and genuinely help each other navigate these psychological minefields. If this deep dive resonated with you, if you found value in these behavioral hacks, show some support by hitting that like button. It tells YouTube this content is helpful, and most importantly, make sure you subscribe to Behavioral Hacks for more no-nonsense explorations into the psychology that really drives trading decisions and performance. You are definitely not alone in this fight. Thanks for watching, and trade smart.